Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Strickland's Mailbag Patreon edition. I'm Drew. Dallas is here. Dallas, how's it going?
It's going great, Drew. Thanks for introducing me. That was
Awesome. That's it. Okay, you can stop talking. Before we get to our guest, BetOnline is your number one source for all of your basketball info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and lines and the latest matchup reports for this year's NBA playoffs. They're still going on right now, guys. The Knicks may not be in it, but the playoffs are still going on. BetOnline is your sports intel headquarters for this season as we have you covered for all your insider sports wagering needs from basketball, MLB, which is baseball, NHL, hockey, which is hockey, golf, which is golf, UFC, which is Ultimate Fighting Champions. Championship. Oh, you heard our guest. And boxing. The fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live bet options and your favorite casino and card games available to play from your home. The call to action is get into the action today. So head to the website, use your mobile device, whatever the mobile device may be. It could be a cell phone, could be an iPad, it could be an Android. I don't know what you have to join, and be sure to use the promo code BELIEVE, which is spelled BLEAV, believe, to receive your 50% bonus on your first deposit. Bet online where the game starts. Got that done. Our fellow partner podcast host is joining us today as a special guest. We rarely have guests on this show, so it's very special. Alex Wolfe, aka editor-in-chief of the Strickland, main host of Locked On Knicks. I'm running out of hyphenated stuff, but he's a multi-hyphenated person. Alex, what's going on?
Not much. That was a beautiful ad read. I will add one constructive note. You don't have to say call to action.
No, I know.
That just is the call to
action. I know.
Anyway.
I purposely read everything that's on the paper, and then when we used to do the DraftKings one, they would have this whole spiel on the all the different phone numbers for 1-800-GAMBLER, and I'm like, I'm not reading all these hundreds.
You didn't have to. That was never part of the deal. Anyway,
but no, they're just like, it's for Indiana, it's this, for California, it's this, for Montana, is that, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you can't just have 1-800-GAMBLER for everything. But
no, it's got to be by the state. Anyway, I'm doing good. I'm basking in the afterglow of the Knicks season, I guess. I don't know, and not getting the Mavs pick. So, tis what it is. Rough week for Knicks fans. A little bit.
Definitely, I was actually pretty upset we didn't get the Mavs pick. I'm like, come on.
I was zen about it, and honestly, I immediately talked myself into but if they're going to be star hunting this offseason, it's more valuable to have it as a future pick anyway. So I'm not too pressed. But yeah,
it was just like, give us some payback for your stupid ass. What's it called? The tampering shit.
Yeah, and that they only got a $750,000 fine, which is like Mark Cuban wipes his ass with $750,000.
I know. It's like, come on, just knock them down, give the Knicks the pick, and everyone's fine. But no, God forbid anything happens like that. But
yeah,
we're going to answer all of your questions in the order we have received them. So God knows how this is going to go. We're late night potting. You guys ready?
Yeah. There you go. Do you want to tell the people about Patreon real quick before we, or can I tell them about Patreon real quick?
You're more than welcome to tell them about Patreon.
So if you're listening to this and you're only listening to the preview version, you can go to patreon.com/thestrickland and become a Patreon patron. For $6 a month, you can get access to the full version of this podcast, as well as every other edition of this, and the full version of the Friday Pod Strickland, as well as access to, to the Strickland Discord, the Strickcord, which is the greatest Knicks discussion forum of all time, as well as anything else we feel like discussing. Then for $9 a month, you can also get exclusive written pieces from some of our writers like Matthew Miranda, who's one of the most talented Knicks writers on the planet. And you also get the Stricken Roll podcast, which is Schwenny's solo pod that he does every other week generally. So that's another bonus in the $9 tier, as well as some other stuff. You get merch discounts in higher tiers, as well as in the $9 tier, I think. And bunch of other great stuff. You can just go look them up, patreon.com/thestrickland, or go to strick.land and click the Patreon tab. And also, if you haven't already, check out the merch tab on the strick.land. And maybe get a Quickland hoodie. Forget about the last 3 or so weeks of the season and get yourself a Quickland hoodie. Remember the good times. Or just go to the strickland.bigcartel.com to get yourself some merch. There we go. Now let's get some questions.
Perfect. See, this is why Alex is here to clean up our mess. That's what he's here for.
Specifically your mess, Drew. So far, Dallas has not made much of a mess.
I've been a fantastic guest so far.
Dallas's existence makes it our mess.
Oh, okay.
All right. You ready for an amazing first question?
Let's go.
This is from Mikey Cook 7. What are y'all's thoughts on ravioli as a food, as an idea, and can ravioli be used in other aspects of life? We're starting off hot, baby.
Of life other than like eating?
Yeah, what else can you use ravioli for?
Well, first of all, ravioli is great. It's a gift. It's every ravioli is a gift. Every ravioli is a blessed moment to stop and enjoy the finer things of life. Stuffed with cheese, stuffed with mushrooms, stuffed, you name it. It's amazing. I love ravioli. It's incredible. Other uses for ravioli besides eating.
I mean, you just kind of made ravioli into like a beautiful metaphor about life. So
ravioli is life.
Use it for inspiration. Clearly,
yeah, use it for inspiration.
Where do you guys stand on raviolis versus tortellinis?
They're not the same thing.
Yeah, but like if you had to pick one.
Excellent observation there. That's just...
They're in the same general category. They're cheese stuffed pasta.
I mean, so is an empanada.
But that's not pasta.
It's dough with a filling.
Okay, so by your definition, stuffed crust, Pizza Hut stuffed crust is pasta.
That's right.
Okay. Can I give you an actual answer? I think it depends on the kind of meal you're eating. I prefer tortellini like in soups, right? Like you don't want ravioli in a soup. But
you'll have a wonton in a soup.
Yeah. I would have a bean in a soup. There are many things I would have in a soup. But a tortellini would be great in a soup, right? It has that nice texture. It has catches a lot of that broth. It's also great for sauces that are a little maybe more like runny kind of thing, because it's going to catch some of that. But yeah, ravioli, give me a nice thick sauce, little chunky tomatoes in it. Delicious.
I think I lean ravioli for the reasons that I lean tortellini in the case of just like a plain cheese ravioli versus a plain cheese tortellini, because the tortellini does capture more of that sauce. Like there's this restaurant by me that makes really good pasta, and they do like a tortellini and like a pink sauce with like some onions and like a little pancetta in it. It's really solid. And so like that I wouldn't like as much with a ravioli, I don't think, but raviolis you could stuff more stuff into.
Yeah.
So you can get like a lobster ravioli, or like a beef ravioli, or like, whatever. So for versatility, I like raviolis a little more, I think.
I don't have anything else to add. I was going to say pierogi's a ravioli. It's a Polish ravioli.
A calzone is a ravioli, obviously. I mean,
you want to tell us some other things you can put in soup?
Let's see. You could put vegetables.
What about a matzo ball? Is a matzo ball a ravioli?
Matzo ball soup is incredible.
The matzo ball is not a ravioli.
What if you put a small amount of cheese in the middle of a matzo ball? Is it a ravioli?
Then it's a Jewish ravioli.
No, then it's a mozzarella stick.
Hey.
Or mozzarella ball.
You're so lucky I couldn't get my terrible soundboard out, because you would have got booed for that.
We're really leading off strong here. This is a great pitch for a Knicks podcast to sell to Patreon people.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Jesus.
Let's move to our
If you
next.
want to hear the next questions, you've got to sign up.
You gotta hear.
We're only
ravioli
going to
talk.
talk about food for the first half hour.
Well, we actually do have the next question is also from Mikey, and it's about basketball. If you have to choose one NBA player, past or present, to train with a current Knicks player individually during the summer, that's all it is. So he gave examples like Jimmy Butler for RJ Barrett, Steve Nash for Emmanuel Quickley, Bill Russell for Mitchell Robinson. So, like, for Knicks players, like, who do you want them training with? If you could pick, like, say, like Quentin Grimes, who do you want Quentin Grimes to train with for anyone to ever play basketball?
Ray Allen.
That's a good one.
I've always thought Dragic would be good for RJ. Might seem like a weird comparison, but the thing that I like about the comparison, or the thing I like about Dragic's game, is he had basically no athleticism at the rim, especially late in his playing career. But he created a ton of separation, despite being small, by just like using these like sort of power shoulder moves and like these jump steps and stuff like that into defenders. That would like shove them off and give him space to make these little layups around the rim. And I think RJ would really benefit from learning a little bit of that sort of game.
It'd be hard for Mitch to train with Bill Russell because Bill Russell's dead. So I'm gonna go with Hakeem.
I actually was also thinking Hakeem. I wasn't going to bring up the Bill Russell's dead.
He's dead, so that's not Mitch can't train with him. He's dead. I don't know what he's supposed to do.
But I would love if Mitch developed a little hook on the inside. That would be very useful for him.
Did you like the move he did on the Heat that one game? He did like a post move and it like failed miserably.
I don't remember that. I probably blocked it out of my memory.
Oh man, it was good. He legit like posted up and he did like a drop step move and everything and tried to lay it up and it just like flew off the backboard.
I'm glad I didn't see that or forgot about it or something. I don't recall it now.
Just want to know if we want Mitch to talk to the dead. I know Polly Walnuts knows a guy, so we can.
But Polly Walnuts is also dead.
True.
Yeah, Polly Walnuts is also dead.
Polly Walnuts lives forever in The Sopranos.
Spoiler alert for those who haven't watched The Sopranos.
No, I mean,
wait, actually, I was gonna say in The Sopranos canon, like he didn't die at the end. Like he was like one of the only ones.
Now it's been thoroughly spoiled.
Yeah, now it's been spoiled. I'm pretty sure he ends up the boss by the end.
Yet, like that's your own fault, right?
Yeah, no, it finale freaking 18 years ago. I think we could talk about it. Yeah, no, I think he ends up like, if you kind of do the math, de facto, he's like the leader of the family by the end of it all. He's like the only one that didn't get murdered.
Tony doesn't die. Come on.
Yeah, who's to say?
Come on.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? I don't have anyone for Emmanuel Quickley, but Steve Nash I feel like is a good one.
Nash is a good trainer for anybody.
Yeah, so I'll just think Steve Nash is fine.
Well, unless you make him a head coach, then it's not so great. Keep him in a player development role.
He's definitely good at training for TikTok videos.
Is he? Is he on TikTok?
Yeah, that was like when he became coach. There were like a couple of his TikTok videos with his wife went viral of them doing like TikTok dances or whatever.
Okay, that's amazing. I need to find this.
So Steve Nash and Deuce McBride, maybe that would be a good.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There you go.
These damn boomers and their TikTok videos. Can't they just work like the rest of us?
Yeah. ZMP323 Company Man Hater asks, what is one spicy take you have about this team going into the off season? You guys have any spicy takes? I'm trying to think of like the spiciest I can get. And I think, but like it's not that spicy. It would be trying to convince like Portland to trade Julius Randle for the third pick, right? The idea of like
getting that a spicy take about the team though, or a spicy take about something you think is possible.
That's why it's about this team going into the offseason, right? So it's like, I guess the spicy take, I would even say like, is running it back a spicy take? Because I would just run it back. Like I don't see anything. But I don't think that's that spicy because it's like it's a team that did well that managed to get to the semis. So like bring it back isn't that spicy. But like I understand how people are upset that they want to trade some guys to like improve because like Brunson clearly is legit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I get it if you want to do something to maximize it, but like I can't think of anything spicy. I don't even think I want anything spicy.
I think running it back is sort of a spicy take just because everybody craves change.
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know. I guess my spicy take would be and again, maybe this is lukewarm, but sort of in the same vein as yours, like they should approach this offseason with the same level of urgency as they did last season, which is to say not a ton and not to get completely like hosed in a trade just because they feel like they have to make that next star move right now. I think that would be, and especially don't go after like someone who's not a good fit. So yeah, I think it's like running it back is acceptable, I think is my spicy take, and just like being calm and not actively seeking trades for the sake of doing it would be good, which I think they'll do because that's just kind of their MO so far.
Dallas, you have anything to add?
I got no spiciness.
Yeah, we know that. You're not really a spice guy.
In my food I am, but not with my next takes. Not right now.
Actually, maybe another spicy-ish thing.
Would trade RJ for Zach LaVine?
No, absolutely not. This leads more towards next season, but I could see a world where the Knicks potentially start quickly over Grimes to start next year. So maybe that's spicy. I don't know.
It's pretty interesting.
You think you see there's a world where Tibbs starts quickly over Grimes?
Maybe. I mean, he does love quickly. Like, there's no doubt about that. He was playing the dude like 30 minutes a game down the stretch of the season. So if they look at it and they say, well, we'd prefer to have like, especially if Grimes develops as a playmaker a little bit, and then you could have him and Hart playing off each other off the bench. Granted, Tibbs might also go into next season with a newly minted Josh Hart on a new contract and be like, Josh Hart's the starter. That's it. The spacing is fantastic. He's so good. He's a dog.
I would rather not have Josh Hart than have Josh Hart the starter.
Yeah, well,
on this with the roster the way it is.
Yeah, I'm probably with you, but I feel like you kind of have to re-sign him at this point, especially because you're going into this draft with no picks now, and you just traded one of them for him. But.
Yeah.
Not only should I think we actually will get to this, but like not only should you resign him, just like don't start him. But like he's clearly a very good player. He makes so much sense off the bench.
Yeah,
like it just worked off the bench, and it's like now we're not doing it anymore. It's like okay, let's just stop doing what made us good.
Yeah.
So our next question is from our beloved Jerry Garcia. How much should I be crying about Tibbs not getting fired? Should I be going duty in my diaper?
Yes.
I mean, first of all, James, you should always be pooping your pants. So like, just go at it.
Always be pooping. That's our motto here.
Yeah, always. And no, don't cry. Tibbs is fine. I mean, Tibbs isn't fine, but like, he's fine. Like,
wow.
I don't. Who's a coaching free? Like, I don't know who's available right now, right? Like, who's actually like someone that's available that you're like, he is a distinct upgrade.
I mean, this is the thing is like, it always comes down to, can you be the team that doesn't hire one of the coaches that you would think to hire and have it work out? You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to find that coach that's like on the rise. So whether it's Johnny Bryant, or someone from some other team, like some assistant somewhere is probably the coach that the Knicks should hire in place of Tibbs, not like Budenholzer, who's on the market. But
yeah, no,
stinks.
Not like Budenholzer.
Not Doc Rivers.
Yeah, no Doc Rivers. Oh my God, keep him away at all costs.
What about Mark Jackson?
Oh my God, keep
Kenny Smith.
I would sign Doc Rivers and freaking Budenholzer before I would even look at Mark Jackson.
Oh, absolutely.
What about Kenny Atkinson?
Oh, of course. The mastermind.
Kenny Atkinson.
JJ Redick.
Like they're like we don't know assistant coaches like that, right? So it's like we just get like the big names and all the big names available. We're like, no, I'm good. So
yeah.
So like Tibbs showed some signs of evolution.
Yeah.
Just a smidge,
I mean,
right?
Tibbs is fine. It's a tough coaching market this offseason because you literally have like 3 teams that are probably like better or similar to the Knicks that are all looking for coaches. And so like you gotta just be like, all right, well, would someone take the Knicks job over like the Bucks job? Maybe. But who's to say? It's like, I don't know. It's tough. I do want to move on from Tibbs, but it's a tough year to do it, I think, unfortunately.
It is.
Although if you're going internally like a Johnny Bryant type, then I think it's a little easier. Like probably he, with his relationships that he's built up with the front office, knowing they're loyal, and like with the players, I imagine he would stay.
I feel like that's going to be the move, right? It's going to be like an internal thing where it's like there's like Tibbs doesn't get anything else out of the guys. They did like another year of like second round disappointment. Let's have a fresh take on things. But like
I think what'll probably end up happening, and maybe this would happen as soon as like midseason next year, would be Tibbs gets fired, Johnny Bryant gets elevated midseason if they're like underachieving, next year.
Yeah, then he gets a chance to coach and everything. Yeah, that would
make sense. Gets a chance to get his feet wet, and then probably what they would end up doing, they might even have like a Rolodex of guys like ready to rock. But like, I think what they would do is sort of what they did when Tibbs first got hired, which is like build out Johnny Bryant's staff and be like, just trust us, bro. Like, we're going to build out the staff, because all the rest of the staff other than Johnny Bryant probably leaves, other than maybe Rick Brunson, because they were,
because his Nepo babies on the team.
I mean, they're not Nepo babies necessarily, but they're Tibbs's guys, like Andy
Jalen
Greer.
Brunson's a Nepo baby.
Well, yeah, but like a good Nepo baby, like the one good Nepo baby is Jalen Brunson. Actually, no, Rick Brunson is the Nepo baby in this analogy because he rode his son's coattails to a job.
That is true. The Nepo dad.
The Nepo dad. But yeah, like Andy Greer's gone, Dice is gone. Who's the other coach that's a Tibbs guy? There's like one more.
I was gonna say like Rick Brunson technically is, but he's staying. Probably.
Sort of, but he would stay, just by virtue of being Jalen's dad. So they would build out Johnny Bryant's coaching staff, and they probably already have some guys in mind if that's a lane they want to go into at some point.
We have 2, unless Dallas wants to add something, we have 2 questions related to Julius Randle. All right. Ravi asks, what are some bold Julius Randle trades you would pursue this offseason? And then Constantine is, what are some trades you think it is more worthwhile to keep Julius? So basically like 2 kind of trade scenarios, like the bold one to get rid of Julius and you're keeping Julius. What are you doing differently? I already gave mine. I would offer Julius Randle for the 3rd pick to Portland and see if they take it.
Yeah, that's the bold one for sure.
Because like you're definitely taking a step back. Clearly we're all draft experts here. So you pick, we would take, I don't know, who's available at 3? Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson. Like, that's all I got.
Either Scoot or Brandon Miller or one of the Thompson twins. You're definitely not getting Wembanyama at 3. That's not gonna happen.
Hey, you never know.
No, you do know. The Spurs are definitely taking Wembanyama.
You never know.
There's not been a more sure thing since like LeBron James 20 years ago.
That's the move I would do, where you take the step back. You're basically saying, Obi's gonna start, he's the guy, you re-sign him, right? And then like that would be the bold move. And then like the other move would be for, if you were to keep Julius, I don't know, I guess you would have to trade like Mitch or RJ
to get the 3rd pick.
No. Just if you're keeping Julius Randle, like who would you trade? I think it would be either one of those guys, because I'm not that big a fan of it, but like I think that's the route you would go.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was I think I'm with you. I would try to talk Portland into that, and I would even be like, I will give you Julius Randle plus like 3 of the protected picks, so 3 out of the 4 protected picks to move up to number 3 or something. And just be like, yo, let's go get I think it would have to be it'll probably have to be Brandon Miller available there because Scoot Henderson. I'm not going to draft Scoot Henderson with Jalen Brunson on the team. I'm not going to pay that price.
Is Scoot a point guard or something like that?
Yeah, he's a point guard who says he like idolizes Russell Westbrook.
Oh, great. Okay, definitely don't want Scoot on this team. I'm out on Scoot.
I'm scooting on out of there.
I'm scooting on.
But yeah, Brandon Miller's like a long wing, he can score in a variety of ways and stuff. Like, seems like he would be a pretty good fit. I mean, honestly, yeah, I would even trade. The further down I would get, if Taylor Hendricks was available, I would try to trade Julius even for like a top 10 pick to get Taylor Hendricks and maybe get some extra stuff in return. Be like, hey, like pick 7 plus like some stuff for Julius Randle. What do you think? To some team who is the 7th pick? I don't even remember at this point.
You're asking the wrong people here.
As I pull up Tankathon, 7th pick is Indy. Actually, that's kind of perfect if we're being honest.
That would be pretty interesting.
They'd be like, we want to capitalize on Halliburton's window, or window now, whatever, if he has a window, and be like, Julius would be a good co-star. So, maybe you could talk them into it. Who's to say? But
they bring in Sabonis's nemesis.
Yeah.
So for me, I think like this maybe is a little bit of a, going back to the other question, a spicy take about the Knicks, but I kind of think it's tough because Julius Randle was really good this regular season, like awesome, but I kind of think the team gets better if he's replaced with like an above average 3-and-D power forward who is just like a good quick decision maker. But to make that actually make us better, you have to open up the offense a little bit, I think. When the offense is this sort of isolation heavy and this sort of, grind it out, offensive rebound ball, you need guys like Julius Randle who can just sort of get their shot no matter what. And he's certainly amazing at that. But I think if you open up the offense a little bit, it's going to put a lot of the guys we already have in much better positions. Like poor Jalen Brunson in the playoffs was just in like the worst possible position to succeed, and through no fault of his own, and through pretty much exclusively Tibbs' fault. It's not like we didn't have the tools or the resources to open up our offense in more interesting ways, to put Jalen Brunson in positions where he wasn't looking at 4 defenders every single time he was driving the ball, right? So I think if you open up the offense a little bit, you help Jalen. Grimes and Quickly can both do a whole lot more than they were doing in terms of like off-ball actions, running around screens, and they're just, also Obi Toppin too. These are just like, and Isaiah Hartenstein, smart guys who move the ball quick, can make good decisions. Josh Hart sort of fits in that sort of category too. He's not as good of, I think, a decision maker, but he makes quick decisions, and it often works, right? Because he makes quick, decisive decisions. So yeah, I think that's a sort of maybe hot takey thing that like, just your sort of above average 3-and-D player might be an upgrade over Julius Randle. And of course, you would hope that you'd get a little something extra back as well if you make that kind of a trade.
I think you would enjoy Taylor Hendricks based off the little that I've done. He's like my favorite guy in this draft already.
Yeah.
He's like 6'9", average like.
Nice. That's a nice height.
Yeah, right. I think he averaged, let me see, I have Tankathon literally up right here. Per 36 minutes, he averaged like 3 stocks per game. And he shot 39% from 3 on 5 attempts per 36 minutes. So I don't know what that, it's per game averages. Oh, actually shit. 4.6 3-point attempts per game. Average 39% for the year. So
someone who makes defensive events happen other than Mitch too would be nice.
That would be the dude right there. I would love, like, honestly, it would mean taking a step back a little bit probably, but if you start Obi Toppin and bring Hendricks off the bench, like, sign me up. That would be great.
I mean, you could also, well, I don't know if we'll get into it, but you could also kind of make that same argument that we're saying for like getting rid of Randall. You could kind of make the same thing for RJ too, in a way, right?
Mhm.
But you would be effectively saying that like his playoff performance is the imaginary one. It's actually closer to all of the regular season stuff.
But also,
And
RJ's 22 and Randall's 27, and that has to matter.
No,
Like,
Randall's older than 27 now.
28.
I think he's like 29.
No, he's like 27 or 28.
We're getting the researchers, which is us right now.
Let's call up the researchers real quick.
Julius Randle's 28 years old, and he'll turn 29 in November, though. So
okay, so he'll turn 29 before next season.
Yeah,
yeah, that's different. He's 28 right now, so he's 27 or 28.
He's 28, and he will be 29.
Yeah, that's fine. So he's 28.
So I don't know. They have an interesting. I think we're back to the who do you pick, like RJ or Randall, and then it's going to be this interesting debate, like who's actually available, how does this work? But
yeah,
we're back to that.
Mm-hmm.
So Tokyo Sex Wale asks, "Hi, lads."
Oh wait, we didn't really touch Constantine's thing though. Is there a deal where you would like say like they're trading Julius just for the sake of trading Julius, and this is wrong?
For sure.
I think probably most of the trades.
Yeah, a lot of
right.
them.
I think it would be like most of the things, like even me saying the third pick, like of course we're doing that for like value reasons and like you're doing a specific direction. But even then, like getting someone like that and experienced put on this team is not like a good idea. It's not like a good idea necessarily, especially if they want to win. So I would think most Julius Randle trades would be bad. Like you can't be like, oh, let's bring in like Tobias Harris. Like, no.
Yeah.
I actually like the idea of trading for Tobias Harris, Julius Randle for Tobias Harris plus something. That to me is, I think that's a really interesting move. That's the kind of like 3-and-D kind of guy who I think, I mean, obviously is a little bit more than that, but like that's his ideal role, like third creator kind of thing. And it's mostly spotting up. And his defense has improved, I think, a decent bit of late. Although it's still not, it's not like elite wing stopper or something like that, but it's a good bit better than it used to be. Yeah, I don't know. That's the kind of thing where I'm down for that sort of trade.